Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Chelsea. This is Zoe, my sister. Today we are going to be filming a very requested video, which is my high school experience video. I do have to say, my high school experience wasn't the best.
When's that signal?
No.
Okay, thank you.
My high school experience wasn't the best, but...
Am I allowed to show the logo?
Yeah.
Okay.
My high school experience wasn't the best, but I just wanted to give you guys a different perspective, since I always see a lot of people talking about high school and they're like, oh, it was the best 4 years of my life. Would go back and do it again, and I'm just like, no. And I have Zoe here, who is, I'm going to be saying my high school experience, and then throughout the video, Zoe can just chime in if she feels her experience was different.
And then I'll say my high school experience, because I'm also a person.
Yeah, Zoe will say hers, but...
I did my makeup for this video.
Ew. Okay, let's just get started. From when we were freshmen in high school to when we were seniors in high school, obviously, so let's just get started. So when I was a freshman in high school, I first of all went to a high school that wasn't my zoned school, so it wasn't where the majority of my people I went to middle school were going to. But I did know a couple of people who were going to my high school, so I wasn't too alone. I didn't feel too much like I had nobody there. So, but I did, when I was going into school, I had my best friend at the time, and we were going into school together, and then I had a bunch of other people who I thought, you know, I could just go and I could be friends with them. So the first, like, starting freshman year, I was still friends with the people who I thought I was going to be friends with, and I knew I was going to the school with, so we would eat lunch together, and we would say hi to each other in the hallways or whatever, and I had just my group, and it was my best friend and some other friends that I just had, and then that was really freshman year. That was like probably the most basic of the years, because nothing actually happened that was worth anything.
Okay, so my freshman year. So, me and my best friend go from our middle school with a bunch of other kids to our high school, I think. Yeah, there was a lot of us that were from the other school. So we all went to this high school? So we all went to this high school, and we had some hot teachers. You know who they are if you're watching the video, which I hope you are. Wink. Ooh. So, for the first day of the high school, or the day before, we all went on a retreat. Like, that was our getting to know each other. We went to the mountains, and we stayed in a cabin, like this big cabin, lots of room for people.
I did that too, but not.
And that's how we ended up meeting everybody, and so I fell in love with a person I should not have fallen in love with. Doesn't matter. It's not like they know. I don't know. Who cares? No one knew, except my best friend, because we talk about it all the time. But, so I became really, really shy and almost like a psychopath. So people thought I was a loon. Couple good moments. People liked me some of the time.
Did anything crazy happen your freshman year?
God, lots of things. There was only 20 kids in our school. There was only 20 kids, or in our high school, so it really wasn't like, we stayed in a trailer for most of the class. I went running, I fell, my whole skirt went up, the entire school saw, because there was only 20 people, so 20 people saw my underpants. I asked the high school boy that I had a crush on, and he said no, there's that. But I didn't care, because I asked him, so I felt
asked him what?
If he would go to the dance with me. I asked someone if they saw my underwear.
How would anybody have known that? You didn't say that. You didn't say dance. You didn't mention dance at all.
I was getting there.
Oh, okay.
Well, I did ask a couple people if they saw my underwear. I asked the other boy that I had a huge crush on if he saw my underwear. He didn't.
All right, let's just get on. We have to get on to the sophomore year of high school. So, flash forward to sophomore year of high school. My experience, sophomore year, was sort of when things started getting a little bit crazy for me. I had drifted apart from everybody who I had went to middle school with in high school. So my best friend and I at the time, we just kind of drifted apart. Much love for them. Still to this, we just kind of, we drifted apart. And then all of the other people who I talked to, we just didn't talk to each other anymore. We definitely didn't sit next to each other at lunch. But I had met my best friend which is Jolie. And then we became friends, I think, freshman year, but we just didn't sit together freshman year. I think. I don't know why we didn't sit together, but sophomore year, I just didn't really have, I had my friends, but we didn't have lunch together. So that was the year where I started eating lunch in the bathroom, which was like, that was sophomore year. And every other day I had lunch with Jolie and company, but every other day I had nobody in my lunch period, so that's when I had lunch in the bathroom. And then I just
you dropped your crackers.
Yeah, I had a Lunchable. I was eating Lunchables in the toilet because that's like the saddest thing. I was actually eating lunch in the bathroom. I was having a Lunchable and
it was hardcore, yo. It was like a 90s
No, this is serious. I was eating it and it dropped. My Lunchable dropped in the bathroom and it was all over the floor. There was somebody in the next stall, so the person next to me was like, someone eating their Lunchable in the bathroom.
Oh, that's terrible.
That was my experience, but yeah, it just wasn't the best experience. I just didn't really have any friends, and that was kind of when a lot of people, I knew a lot of people said bad things about me, and not to my face, this was kind of when I was hearing things were said about me. So I remember I had an assignment with someone and something had gone wrong, like something was just wrong in the assignment, and I heard someone was like, oh, it was probably bad because Chelsea was in the group, stuff like that. Just people thought I was really, stupid and whatever, and that was just kind of my sophomore year, and I started YouTube during my sophomore year of high school, which was my happy point because, I would just come home and that would be like my happy part, so.
And she never invited me to do a single thing.
No, I didn't.
So my sophomore year was a lot different because I had finally gotten comfortable with all of the kids that I had known since it was the same 20 kids in every class. So I'd finally gotten comfortable, and unfortunately, like from being quiet and weird and like only one person to talk to and like sweaty palms and like weird tights under my dress that was like school uniform. It was a school uniform and it was like long skirts and I was freaked out and crazy. And then I think the best way to explain this is first year of high school was very long skirt that went past my knees because I was afraid to show my body and I was like, I'm in high school now, I'm scared. And then second year was like so short the skirt you could see the underwear underneath, and people were like, we could see your shorts underneath, and I was like, that's why I'm wearing shorts, yo. And then it was great, it was cool, and everything changed. I don't think people liked me then. Nobody likes me ever, but I don't think people liked me then. But I was friends with everybody then, sort of. Like, I was, like, just more outgoing.
So, junior year was probably the better year for me. I think it was probably my best year. Jolie and I kind of just grew as friends, in the years coming and past. So, we were just together all the time at that point, and we had lunch together all the time, and I had lunch with various other people, so I was never alone, so I had progressed from the toilet, and I was eating outside with the rest of the people, so that was a good thing. My junior year was the best for me academically. I was doing really, really well in all my classes, making sure everything was done. It was really, really, really important to me to get all my schoolwork done, and that was sophomore year, I forgot to mention, was the year that I just didn't really go to school very often. I missed so much school, and honestly, it was because, I was uncomfortable to be there, and definitely to eat lunch in the bathroom. It's like you don't even want to be at school.
Yeah, that's horrible. It's like the worst thing.
And it's and I just really didn't want to be there, and I didn't feel comfortable with anyone. So junior year was a little bit better for me. I was actually coming to school a bit more. I still obviously miss school, and I've had a lot of stomach problems just in my life, so that's kind of another reason. But junior year was just better for me all around. I liked what I was doing. Of course there's always people who would just say things about you, but I was kind of better at ignoring those things at that time, and I think that was my favorite year just because it was just better, and I had friends, and I wasn't eating in the bathroom, so I think that was just, that made it like the best year for me.
For me, junior year was the worst year of my life because I'm serious. No, I'm pretty serious. That was pretty bad. First of all, so I had gotten kicked out of the school that I had been going to because my grades weren't
Tool.
I was kicked out of the school I was going to.
Yeah.
I got kicked out of the school that I had originally been going to, and it wasn't like the school I had been going to for many, many years. I had only been going there for 2 years, but I knew the people I knew were from the middle school that I had been going to since I was in 3rd grade. So to go from this small private school that only had like 50 people at one time, like for the first 7 years of my life, like how many years is that? 7 to 9?
Who knows?
Who cares? Whatever. A long time. And then to go to public school, which is fine.
Yeah.
Public school is great. But to be, like, it was a culture shock. Like, totally culture shock. What did I do? I sat alone every single day in the library.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't eat lunch. There wasn't a day I ate lunch in that school. I waited until I got home, which was at 1, so I guess I had lunch, but it wasn't at that school.
So senior year was kind of really, really strange for me. I started senior year, and I was like, in the beginning, very, very into it, and I was like, this is going to be the best year ever. I'm not going to miss any school. I'm going to just continue with my good grades, because I was doing really well. Junior year, I was on like the honor roll, the A and B honor roll. I was really excited about starting the year, and then we got to the middle of my senior year, where things started to happen just naturally, just life things. I'm not going to go into like extreme detail. Anyway, I'm not going to get into, extreme details, for privacy reasons and all that stuff, but I met this particular guy in my high school, and that's pretty much it. I'm not really going to get into it, but we all know that that's what caused problems, kind of ruined my life. Guys, right?
He's a douche.
So I met this guy.
Girl problems, right?
Yeah. So I met this guy. I met this guy and blah blah blah, and it kind of just messed up my life entirely because I was just so focused on this particular person that I just completely ignored my schoolwork, and I went crazy. Honestly, like I went nuts. So I started missing so much school. 3 of my dogs passed away during that time. So
in the same, it was approximately like 3 months in the same.
They were 2 of them in the same week, and then 1 of them a couple months afterwards. So it was all that stuff at once, and then during that whole time, I had stomach problems every single day. I don't know why, but I started just having pain or feeling nauseous every day. So it was just a terrible time for me. So when I was done dealing with this particular person, I was just like, I am not going to let this person ruin my life and just ruin it, because at that time my grades I was like failing my classes, and I was never failing my classes at any point. So I just was like, I'm not going to let this guy ruin my high school, especially since I've tried so hard and I wanted to prove everyone wrong that I could do it. And so I went back and I got all my grades, I did all my homework, I went and stayed after school as much as I could, that I got it together so that I was able to graduate, because it was getting to the point where they were like, you might not graduate, and I was just like, hells no. So I just really went into it. So yeah, I got into some problems that affected my life, but I was able to get past those, and so I think it was a successful year in that respect.
So my senior year, I switched schools again to online school. So I only had 1 class a day. I didn't really meet anyone there. I had all A's though. That was the once and only time in my entire life where I've actually gotten all A's or any kind of A. That's why they kicked me out originally. So that was wild. I was like, wow, grades that are good. That was like bonkers. I was like, I did good that year. I should have gone there the entire 4 years of high school, and they would have like sent me off to Yale or something. I would have been like, here, Princeton bound, because all A's. I was like, riding the high train to Yale town.
So that was both of our high school experience. I hope you guys got a little bit of an insight of what high school is. I know it's really, really hard to just listen to our perspectives and be like, oh, I'm ready to go into high school. I know what I'm going to expect, because some people really do have different experiences. You might have the best time of your life. And I
had an array of experiences.
Yeah, I mean, even though it wasn't that great for me, I would say that there were some really good times and things that I'm really just happy about, and things that I learned from, and just excited. I'm happy that I was able to do that stuff. But I will say that college is like 5,000 times better. Oh, yeah, I mean, for high school, I would say to just make an effort to make friends. It would make your high school experience just a lot easier. I would say though that like, if you're different, I mean, it's true when they say it in movies, but if you're different, high school is pretty much gonna suck for you. If you're different in any way, high school's gonna suck.
Well, yeah, I mean, I guess so.
And it's kind of true. I've seen that. If people just don't really understand, especially, I don't know if it's, like, immature, but they just don't really...
Yeah, they don't get it. I had teachers tell me that I was very mature for my age because I didn't talk.
But I would say that my, big tips to survive a high school is to just get yourself out there, maybe join clubs. I think it's a good idea to do that so you can start meeting people. I joined 2 clubs my whole entire high school career, and they didn't help me at all. But
why is that a tip then?
I don't know. But I would say no. But
forget that. No.
But everybody else loved it. They loved it. They loved the groups. It was
my tip. Join a club.
Join a club.
Didn't work for me.
Not for me, but I know so many people really just, they were like, I've watched other people's videos and they say join clubs. No, but I think you should join clubs. In theory, it is a way to meet new people and to just find people who,
Yeah, I think
enjoy.
if you're gonna want to join a club, you're gonna want to do it in high school because they offer some things you can find somewhere else, but it's free. It's like
and then I would say that in high school, just kind of go in there with a really open mind and don't be worried about going to high school and just being scared about anything because when you think about it, it's just like, who cares? But I would say, make sure you are thinking about your academics because I think that's the only thing in high school that's really going to matter years later. Like, all my problems that I had in high school, none of them are that important anymore. Like, I would cry about things that happened in high school, and now I'm like...
Yeah, same.
It just doesn't even matter. Like, those things don't carry on into the future. If you enjoyed this video, please like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And definitely stay tuned for Tuesday's video, and I will see you later.
I think we're going to post it on my channel, too. Bye!